All right. Good morning, guys. This is Shauna Harrison. I am back with another TRX muscle and flow combination. So, TRX for yoga. We're mixing in some strength. We're going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. Today's focus is actually going to be lunges and warriors. So, a warrior pose is very, very similar, basically a lunge in some of the variations. So, we're going to use the warriors. We're going to throw in some lunges. We're going to kind of combine all of that together into a couple of different flows. So, all you need are your straps and a mat, unless you don't need the mat given the ground that you're on. But out here, I am going to use the mat, and that's it. So we are going to start facing the anchor point. I have my straps about mid-length, and this entire flow is going to be in consideration if you are hanging this off, say, a door or something like a pole, as opposed to overhead. So I'll be very mindful of that, since I know a lot of us at home have to deal with that. So I'm going to start with my hands in the cradles. You may want to put the cradles in a shorter position. So you may want to adjust the cradles if you have adjustable cradles for when we get on the floor. Okay. So I'm going to start with my hands in those cradles. I'm going to start facing the anchor point, standing up nice and tall. I'm just going to take a big breath. Inhale those arms up and overhead. So just starting to come into that breath. Exhale, bring those hands down. We'll do that exact same thing one more time. Big inhale all the way up. And exhale it all the way down. Good. One more time. Inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. This time we're going to fold forward, pressing down through the cradles, bringing those hands all the way forward. And then coming to a half lift, inhale up right here. So I have that back nice and flat. My feet are grounded down through the floor. Fold it back down. One more time like this. Big inhale. Exhale all the way down. Now come all the way back up. Big inhale, lift those arms up. And putting that together now. Exhale, fold it forward. Come to that half fold right here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. One more time like this. Big inhale all the way up. And exhale, fold it all the way down. This is similar to our vinyasa. Press and lift. Exhale all the way out. Good. Inhale all the way back up to the top. We're going to keep those hands up, bringing those feet together, coming into our chair pose. Sit the butt back and down. We did a lot of these in some of those other flows that I've done. So draw the shoulder blades back. Sit your butt back and down. Core is nice and tight. Ribs are engaged. And then we fold all the way forward. Inhale back to that half lift. Exhale, release, coming back through our chair. Inhale. Good. One more time like this. Fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Chair pose, big inhale. And then we're going to stand all the way up. All right, from here, all I'm going to do is flip myself around. Okay. So now I have those cradles up and over the head. You can put your hands on the handles if that feels better to you. I have really long arms, so I like to keep them in the cradles. From here, I'm just going to step my left foot forward, opening out, drawing that back knee down, and stepping forward. So very similar to a TRX lunge, right? Basically a TRX lunge. Alternating back and forth, stepping back as I come through, just using the straps to help open up through the chest, breathing. You can take this faster or slower if you want. Big inhales and exhales. Good. And then the next time that left foot comes forward, we're going to hold it there. So left foot comes forward. This time I'm going to take the hands up and overhead. So this is the crescent lunge, right? Which is the exact same thing as the TRX lunge. This time I'm taking the hands up and overhead. From here, I want to think about pulling my left hip back and squaring my right hip forward. So often, less with the straps, but on the floor, what often happens is we turn the hips quite a bit. So we're going to focus on that here. Pressing my hands into the cradles, drawing the shoulder blades down. Just breathing. Again, pulling those ribs together, keeping those hips nice and square, pressing through my back heel. It's okay if you keep your back knee bent, especially if you really have tight hip flexors. If you run, sit a lot, which a lot of us are doing right now. It's totally fine to keep that back knee slightly bent. Good. Take another big inhale. All I'm going to do is add a little twist to this. So I'm going to bring my left hand down, reach my right arm up. Get a nice stretch through that right side of the body. Keeping that left knee stacked. Pressing that back heel back. One more inhale, exhale. And then I'm going to come back to center. From there, pressing down to that left foot, stand all the way up. Step the right foot forward. Same thing, crescent lunge, hold. Drawing shoulder blades down. Pressing the right heel down into the ground, pulling that right hip back. Pressing through that left heel. Standing up nice and tall, but not puffing that chest out too much. keeping everything nice and strong, including your breath. Big inhales, big exhales. Beautiful. We'll take one more inhale and exhale here. And then I'm going to take that right hand, reach it back, opening up to that right side. Continue pressing through the left hand as well. Good. We breathe. And then I'm going to bring that right hand back up to center. Stepping that right foot back, coming back to that center position. Let's step left foot back forward. Back to crescent inhale here. Open up to that left side. Good. Inhale back to center. Step it back. Right foot comes forward. Open up on that right side. Back to center. Step all the way back. Same thing. So we're basically taking our TRX lunge and just turning it into a crescent and a revolved crescent. One more each side. And then the next time that left foot comes forward, we're going to hold again. So left foot's coming forward, we're holding. This time, I'm going to take my back foot and turn this into a warrior one. So nothing in my front leg changes at all. It's the exact same thing. Back toes are going to turn about a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what you don't want is it's not turning all the way out like parallel to my mat here or baseline. You're having it go sort of towards the corner. And what I'm going to do here is it's very common to collapse through that back arch and collapse through that back leg. I'm going to press the outside of my back leg down quite a bit here. Still shifting the hips to face forward. If you need some extra space, which a lot of us do because we have tight hips, you can walk that left foot just out to the left side just slightly. We stay here, we hold, we breathe. Warrior one. Press the outside of that back foot down even more. Engage the outside of that glute. At the same time, pressing that left heel down into the floor. Still ribs are engaged. Still breath is super steady. One more inhale here. And then to come out of this, all we're going to do is pivot those back toes so they face back forward. Press through that back foot, stand all the way up. Same thing other side. Right foot steps forward, left toes turn out, we sink down. Warrior one. So we can see warrior one is basically just a lunge with the back toes turn out. Back toes about that 45, pressing the outside of that back foot down. Shoulders draw down. We're using the straps here to help us engage the shoulders and help draw them down. Obviously, it helps with your balance a little bit too, but we breathe. Remember, you can step that right foot out to the right side just a tiny bit if you need a little extra space in those hips. One more inhale here. As we exhale, pivot those back toes, step all the way back, left foot steps forward again. All right, turn those back toes out. Warrior one. Come back to your crescent, press back. Step forward right, warrior one. Pivot back front, step it all the way back. Step left, turn out, warrior one. Turn back, stand all the way up. One more time. Pivot toes front, step all the way back. Now we step left foot forward. We turn back toes out, warrior one. Now I'm going to take my hands back behind me. So if you have really tight shoulders, you may not actually be able to reach and grab. Totally fine. Use the straps to help you here. And if you can't actually grab your hands, hold here. The straps will help you by helping you hold your hands up, right? If you can interlace your fingers, great. Do it. If you can grab somewhere up on the straps, also great. So from here, legs are exactly in warrior one. I'm going to draw the shoulder blades down, and we're going to go to TRX humble warrior. Only thing that changes is the upper body is going to hover over that front leg. So I'm going in the direction of left shoulder on the inside of that left leg. You don't have to get your shoulder to your knee, and you don't have to stop at the knee. If you can't get all the way to the knee, great. Straps will help you, right? If you want to go all the way to the knee and you can get there, great. If you want to go all the way to head to floor, I'm not going to stop you. As long as you can keep those warrior one legs, that's all I care about, right? We have a dog going crazy over here. All right, so if you start to come down towards the floor and that back leg gives out or your hips go funky, then step it back a little bit. come up a little bit higher and really get your legs to square up. That's the foundation that we want first. Keep breathing, keep holding. We take one more inhale. To come out of this, we're going to undo the interlacing of the fingers, press down through the hands, lift ourselves up, bring the hands back to that warrior one. Take a big inhale here. Pivot your back toes to your crescent. Step all the way back. All right, same thing other side. Step your right foot forward. Turn your left toes out. Find your strong warrior one. Take those hands back behind you. Interlace or don't. Draw your shoulder blades down first. Inhale here. We exhale, start to fold. You go where you go. Watch out for that right hip coming all the way out to the right side. Keep it nice and square. We breathe. Right heel is pressing down. One more inhale. We undo the interlacing of the fingers. Press the hands into the cradles. Big inhale all the way up to your warrior one. Pivot your toes to your crescent. Press all the way back. All right, one more time like that. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Take the hands back behind you, interlace, open up, big inhale. Humble warrior, we fold. Inhale, lift up. Pivot those back toes, press down, stand all the way up. Same thing other side. Turn those toes. Hands come back behind, interlace, open. Exhale, we fold. Undo the interlacing of the fingers, press down, lift all the way up. Turn those back toes, step it forward, and we breathe. All right, that was our warrior one flow. We're gonna come to warrior two flow. And again, I'm being very mindful that a lot of us have the straps coming off of a door or pull. So we're gonna be still in front of the anchor point. All I'm gonna do is step my feet really wide here. Right, so definitely wider than the mat, probably much wider than the mat. Hands can be either in the cradles or on those handles. Again, sort of depends on your arm length here. From here, I'm gonna take my legs, I'm gonna show you front just because you might not be able to see me. So warrior one legs, very similar to warrior two. Warrior two legs, very similar to warrior one. Warrior one, we were squared off to the front, right? Warrior two, those back toes turn even more. And now I'm gonna square off to the side. So with my hands on the cradles, starting with both of my toes facing straight ahead, away from the anchor, I'm gonna turn my right toes, let's start left. I'm gonna turn my left toes all the way out so you can see that left foot. My right toes are not changing. They're exactly the same. They're still facing towards, in my case, half court, right? In your case, towards that mat, right? Left knee is gonna bend, arms are gonna extend out. The awesome thing about using the cradles or the handles for your warrior two is I always like to, even when I'm teaching regular yoga, really focus on the pressing of the hands and the lifting up underneath the armpits. And with the handles or the cradles, you can feel that press. So we press and lift, we open the chest without puffing it out to the front. We stay nice and low in that left leg. You're gonna feel it pretty quickly. We just breathe. We're looking over our left fingertips. Now, the right hand is the one that kind of wants to hang off and not do much. Use the handle, use the cradle to help you out here. Big inhale. Now let's come back to center, square off the toes. So only the left toes turn now. Everything's facing ahead. Let's take those hands back behind us. Just half forward fold. Breathe. Good. Come back up to center. Now turn your right toes. Right knee stacks on top of that ankle. Left foot hasn't changed. It's facing the same way. Now my head is going to turn and look over that right hand. Pressing those hands down into the cradles or into the handles. Lifting up underneath the armpits. Super, super tall here. Just breathe. One more inhale. And then I'm going to press through that right foot, turn my right toes to face back center. Take that forward fold. Just breathe here. All right, come back up. Let's go left side warrior. Come through center. Right side warrior. Come back through center. Left side. Center. Right side. Center. One more time. Left side. Center. Right side. Center. Hold here. Fold. Breathe. Come back up. Coming back to our left side warrior. We're going to take the handle or the cradle across, give it to the right hand. So now my left hand is nice and free. From there, take that left hand, lift it up over towards my right. Left knee still facing to the same side. Reverse warrior. Good. We come back up, give the cradles over to the left hand. Turn those left toes to face forward. Warrior two on that right side. Press down through that left hand. Lift your right arm up. Reverse warrior. Good. One more time each side. Switch the cradles. Switch the feet. Left toes turn. Press down, lift up, open. Good. We turn to the center. We switch the cradles. Up and over with that right hand. Good. Back to center. One handle or a cradle in each hand. Just fold. Good. Big inhale all the way up to the top. We're going to step those feet together. We're going to turn ourselves around to face back towards the anchor point. And from here, with our hands, I'm going to go back to cradles. Again, you can kind of go either one. We're going to come to warrior three. So I'm going to ground down through my right foot. Left leg is going to come up and back behind me. I'm using the cradles not just for balance, but also to help me keep the chest lifting. So one of the common things that happens with warrior three is there's this thought that in order to get to that T position that a lot of people are looking for, is I have to collapse down through the front of my body and somehow that back leg is going to lift up. But the truth is you have to keep your head and heel in the same line. So with the cradles, as we start to come forward, we can use those to keep us from collapsing through the front of the body, right? So my squaring off of the hips is really, really super important here. My left toes are going to go down towards the floor. Maybe you only come to here. That's perfectly fine, right? Again, as long as that head and heel are in one straight line, doesn't matter. We hold, we breathe. It's a lot on the balance, I know. Good, we're going to take one more inhale here. From here, my right foot is going to maintain. I'm going to lift my left leg up, coming up into a single leg Tadasana. Back to the hands are in the cradles. And from there, I'm going to step my left foot forward. Now take my right leg off back behind me, coming to airplane. So airplane, same thing as warrior three, just my hands are in a different position, like an airplane, right? Keeping head and heel as much in that straight line as possible. It really helps to engage through that back leg. So if I just let the back leg kind of hang out, it's dead weight and it also is not going to keep that line. Press that right foot back behind you. Keep breathing, keep holding. And then I'm going to step back. Right foot comes back to single leg Tadasana. And let's try that again. Left leg goes back behind. Warrior three. Single leg Tadasana. Step forward. Airplane. Breathe. Step back to single leg Tadasana. Let's try one more time. Left leg comes back. Single leg Tadasana, left leg lifts. Left foot steps forward, airplane. Good, back to single leg Tadasana, big inhale here. And we're gonna go right to that vinyasa we started with in the beginning. Fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up to the top. Exhale, fold. One more time, half lift. Release. All the way up to the top. And now, bring your hands out in front of you. Right leg goes back. Warrior three. Pressing the hands down into the cradles, lifting up through that chest. Remember, keep this back leg super active. Lots of hamstring, lots of glute. Breathe, hold. Lift chest. Head in line with heel. We hold, we breathe. We press through that left foot, single leg Tadasana, stand all the way up. Super tall here. Press the left foot down. Press back to the hands into the cradles. And then I'm going to step my right foot forward. Airplane pose. Step right foot up, single leg Tadasana. We have a bark situation. We got the train. Take that right leg back behind us. It's a very long one right now. Extend that right leg back behind you. There we go. Single leg Tadasana. I'm going to try to wait for it, but that's a really long time to hold you there. Step that right foot forward. Airplane pose. Step left foot back, single leg Tadasana. Warrior 3. Single leg Tadasana. Airplane pose. Single leg Tadasana. One more time like this. Warrior 3. Single leg Tadasana. Airplane pose. Good. Step back, single leg Tadasana. Both feet down, fold it forward. Good. Inhale to that half lift and lengthen, breathe. Exhale, fold. All the way up, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Release. One more time, inhale all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. And then from here, we're going to come all the way up, bring your hands together, and bring them right to your heart. Awesome. All right, so we're going to move to the ground for a little bit more lunging. Handles are going to go mid-length. Mid-calf, mid-shin. Handles are going to go right at your knees. And we're going to come ground facing away. So we're going to face away from the anchor point. And I'm going to come onto, let's start with the left foot in the cradles. So left foot in both cradles. And then I'm going to just step my right foot forward here. So into a little low lunge. Back knee is down. From here, pressing my right foot down, pulling my right heel back behind me. Because again, same thing as when we were standing, the hips like to go this direction. And we want to keep them squaring off as much as possible, right? I like to bring my hands to my hips because that helps me kind of physically square off my hips. Draw your shoulder blades down. Take an inhale, reach those arms up. So this is like Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Super intense, really great on that hip flexor, that psoas on that left side. We breathe. Good. I'm going to take my right hand down towards the ground. Lift that lift that left arm up and over. Inhale back up. Let's do that one more time. Right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up and over. Good. Inhale back to center. And now I'm going to bring both hands on the inside of my right foot. So from here, I'm going to continue to press my left foot down into the cradles. This is like a runner's lunge. Runner's lunge can be very, very intense, especially if you're actually a runner or a cyclist or you sit a lot, any of those things. It can be really, really intense. So if you're good here, just stay here and breathe into it, right? You can also reach back if you want, right? Or we can start to extend through that back foot and lift it off the ground. So this is going to give you a little bit more intensity on that back leg. Breathing, holding. Good. And then from here, I'm going to put my left hand down on the ground. I'm going to reach my right arm up into an easy twist. It's really helpful to keep that back leg flexed and then also push down through that left hand. I'm going to bring my hands back to center. I'm going to draw the back knee down. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, both hands down. Lift that back knee if that's an option for you. Take your right arm, reach it up. Bring your right hand down. Bring your left knee down if it's not already there. Inhale, lift. One more time. Hands down. Option for the knee up. Take that right arm, reach it. Both hands down. Bring that knee down. And then I'm going to walk myself back up, sit up super tall. Maybe sinking those hips just a little further forward. And then I'm going to gently release. Bring my right knee back behind me. Switch out the cradles. Right foot goes in. Left foot is going to come forward. First, just find that low lunge. Square off the hips. Maybe walk yourself up. Maybe use your hands. We sink. And again, I really like to press through this left heel as much as possible because that helps me engage underneath the hamstring and the glute to help pull that left hip back. Breathe. And then we'll inhale those arms up if they're not already up. Take your left hand, reach it down, reach that right arm up and over, feeling that even more on that right side of the body. Inhale, back up to center. Do it one more time. Left arm reaches down, right arm reaches up and over. Back up to center, hold here. And then both hands come down on the inside of that left leg. Option, again, if you want to extend out through that back foot. Back foot is flexed. Back heel is pressing. Hands are pressing. Super important to keep the breath as steady as possible. Good, and I'm going to press my right hand down, lift my left arm up into that easy twist, pushing right hand down, pushing right heel back. Breathe. Got some buddies that want to come join. Bring that left hand down, bring your right knee down, inhale, lift up. Exhale, both hands down. Option to bring the back knee off. Easy twist, left arm reaches. Left hand comes down, back knee drops down. Inhale, lift. Both hands down, back knee lifts, left arm reaches. One more time, both hands down, back knee down. Inhale, lift. Hands down, back knee, left arm. Good, and then I'm going to draw that left hand down, draw that back knee down, lift up. Sit nice and low here. Just breathe. Good, and I'm going to bring both hands down onto the ground. I'm going to bring my left leg back, undo the toes. Sit back for just a second, don't get too comfortable. And then I'm going to flip myself around to face back towards the anchor point. And from here, I'm going to show you a variation for half pigeon. You can actually do half pigeon with the foot in, just like we were just doing now. It's a little bit more intense that way. So what I'm going to do is hold on to the cradles, and I'm going to bring my right foot forward. And just so you can see from the front, you don't have to worry about getting the foot super parallel, right, in terms of your mat. That's really hard on most people's knees and ankles. So it's okay if it's here, right? The important thing is that we want to square off the hips. So I have that right leg forward. I'm going to take my left toes, curl them under, press through that back leg, lift it up for just a second so that I can square the entire hip and leg down to the floor, right? So down the top of my leg is on the floor as opposed to the inside of my leg. And then undo those toes. Sit up nice and tall, hands to cradles or to handles. Sit up as much as you need to, right? Maybe this is great for you. Keep your right foot flexed. Stay and breathe. If you want to come forward, you're welcome to do that too. Try not to collapse all the way through the hands. Just breathe. Shoulder blades come down. We'll take one more inhale here. And then I'm going to sit over into my right hip, swing my left leg all the way around. Those handles are going to go into my right hand. My right elbow or shoulder is going to come on the outside of that left leg. Take my left hand back behind me. Just a little twist. And then we're going to switch right to the other side. So left leg comes in front. Right leg's going to swing all the way back behind. Square off. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee. Draw the top of the leg down to the floor. Untuck. And then your choice. Either sit here, as long as you're not sitting like this, right? Or you can come forward, as long as you're not collapsing all the way to the floor. Good, one more inhale. And then I'm going to sit over into that left hip, swing my right leg all the way around. Handles into the left hand. Take the elbow over. And then we just a really easy twist, just to release. And then unwind. Both of the feet are going to come together, soles of the feet. Bring your hands forward, fold here. Baddha Konasana. If it's too much for you to fold, just take your hands wider and sit up nice and tall. Good, and then I'm going to reach myself up, grab onto those cradles, lower myself down to the ground. I'm going to put my heels in. If you want to keep your heels out, that's totally fine. From here, I'm going to lay down on my back. We're just going to get a few breaths here in Shavasana. If you want to sort of swing out your legs a little bit, that will release through your hips. And then the backs of the hands are going to come down. Shoulders lift off so that we're super relaxed. And just give yourself a few breaths here. We're not going to stay super long. And then we'll gently bring those knees in. Take your feet out. Knees come all the way into your chest. Forehead comes up to meet the knees. Rock yourself up to a seated position. And we are done. And that was a very quick 30 minutes. I will be back for some more, so stay tuned. I'm really, really loving being able to combine my muscle and flow sort of strength-based and the TRX for yoga. So I'm super excited to be here. Please come back. I will check your comments now after class because obviously I couldn't do it while I was teaching, but I will check them. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time.